everybody, it's me. Listen, I'm rereading this book again. This is Saturday. So really, yesterday was my first day for the rest of your life to live this way, basically, to go through the next stations up after the detox 2 weeks. And reading it and highlighting it has just brought it all home again and shown me something I didn't even realize was coming up around the corner. I must have totally missed this bit of information because you start in the beginning and you're like, what? Okay, first, let me just say, the book is fabulous. You really should read the book. And if you really want to do something permanent about changing your body, it's not about calories in, calories out. It's about understanding how your chemistry in your body works and what we've done to it to bankrupt it. And that this can work if you do it. And it is not as extreme as you first think it might be. Okay. The first 2 weeks are totally about detoxing your system from cravings. That's why it's so extreme. And he says at the end of that 2 weeks, some of my patients want to continue to do it that way, but I tell them no, because really you want to do this forever and to own every step, every station. Although really, once you've done it, I can't see how hard it's going to be to own it. I wouldn't want to detox and then go back and have more than I needed of something and then have to give it up again. So we'll see how that all works. But here's the shocker. You know the whole thing about the pound of vegetables, half of which need to be raw. And you know, I was trying to do them all raw. And then in the first few days, and then you like part half and a half or whatever. Like yesterday I had 2 big salads with chickpeas and stuff like that in them and some tuna. I didn't have time to deal with anything else. But do you realize when you go into the regular part of this is kind of freaking me out a little bit, actually. I've gotten used to eating raw. It doesn't have to be raw at all. You can do this and never eat a salad. You just eat frozen vegetables and, canned vegetables, hopefully without salt in the can, which I know is not really probably the best thing, but he makes it as convenient for people to feel like, oh, well, I couldn't get to the store and get fresh vegetables. And yet, we're supposed to get fresh fruit. So how are you going to have fresh fruits? If you're going to go to the store to get the fresh fruits, I recommend you get the fresh vegetables. I eat some frozen vegetables, but not if it's something I can get fresh. Actually, I eat mostly fresh vegetables, and I'm glad that that's possible for me. And I don't buy organic. But did you know that? Did you know that for the rest of your life, you don't have to worry about having half of this be raw? The other thing was, it said raw nuts, and I thought it was an ounce. It's 2 ounces of raw nuts. But I was toasting mine on the stove, just in the frying pan a little bit, even with maybe a spritz of olive oil in the pan, or even dry pan, just to make the flavors come out of the walnuts are a little bitter, and the pecans are always better a little toasted. Well, that kills some of the best nutrients, macronutrients in the nuts by heating them up so that the oil becomes not as healthy for you in the nut itself, not the oil you sprayed in the pan. So that was a wake-up call for me too. So I will not be toasting any more nuts. So the things they say once you get ready to go into the weeks, once you've done the detox, and also during detox, you need to be aware that towards the end of the 2 weeks, your appetite shifts and you're not hungry. And I noticed that this last week, that all of a sudden I thought, God, I don't want to eat today at all. I don't even care if I eat all that, but I got to eat. That means when you start to feel like your body's saying, I'm not hungry, that hungry to even eat your salad stuff, that is a sign that your set point is being lowered. So that's a good thing. Notice that towards the end. He said, you will see that towards the end of the 2 weeks. And I actually did see it, and I didn't know what to do with that experience until I read it in the book again this morning. It's good to reread this book as you're getting ready to transition into the next phase. It's still 1 pound or more vegetables, but that doesn't have to be fresh, which I'm going to eat that way mostly anyway. I thought I would just run these over really quickly for the rest of my life, basically. It's 3 servings of protein for women, one of which needs to be vegetarian, which I probably will do mostly vegetarian. That'll be 1.5 cups of lentils or beans or chickpeas or something a day. at least a pound, but 1.5 pounds or even 2 pounds daily is better, which is easy to do if you eat cooked vegetables. My goodness. I mean, sometimes they weigh a lot more than the raw version of something. But then again, sometimes they don't. Fruit, fresh fruit, unlimited. Everything but canned and dried. Unlimited. Unlimited. Don't be afraid of the sugar in fruit. A small amount of fat, 1 tablespoon a day, period. 1 tablespoon of EVOO or coconut oil or butter, and then other things like palm oil, but I would never buy that. And if you want to eat an avocado, 1 avocado a day is the same as your fat, and you're eating an avocado, which is full of other good stuff, which I don't really eat avocados, but it doesn't matter. And to get a spritz bottle, which I have for my olive oil. 2 ounces of nuts and seeds. Seeds are big over here too. You can buy bags of seeds. So I'm going to start having some seeds too and weigh those out and have 2 ounces a day. I find that's helpful to have something a little denser like that mid-afternoon, and sometimes mid-morning if a piece of fruit's not quite the right thing my body wants. Finally, the one thing I don't do well, flush the processed food toxins out of your body. Drink lots of water. And I'm going to try really hard to start doing the water, because I never have really done the water like I was supposed to do, and I'm sure that will help me tremendously. And this again, I'm going to read this to you one more time. The water will help flush out the processed food toxins. Now granted, they should be out of my system by now, although I really never had that many. But giving up the artificial food sweeteners and the artificial diet food stuff is crucial, crucial, crucial. This is not about diet food. This is about whole, real, natural food, and lowering your thermostat so you can be skinny forever or thinner forever and not fight with your body and not fight with cravings and not fight with your flesh and not be addicted to, I'm going to read you this too really quickly. True hunger is triggered by your body's thermostat, either as a result of your weight dropping lower than your set point, or whatever, okay. True hunger. Toxic food cravings are the result of an addiction to the pleasurable brain signals that are triggered by sugar, fat, and whatever additional addictive substances are added to processed foods, and that includes sweeteners. Artificial sweetener in soda, artificial sweetener in anything. Controlling toxic food cravings depends on treating the processed foods as a substance that you are addicted to, and either cutting down drastically or, better yet, eliminating it completely from your diet. Okay, this is where it's going to be hard for people that have gotten so used to smooth protein shakes. There's so much added stuff. Those are processed out the yin yang. I'm even a little, he says you can drink almond milk, but even that's, not like I made it from some almonds myself. But it's okay. I mean, I'll go that far. Even the PB2 says it has some sugar in it, which is a shame, but it doesn't have any of the fat, so I'll use that in limited quantities. But that's about it for the processed food. We've got to realize that a lot of people have the surgery and then they just continue to eat diet forms of the same processed foods that they didn't eat before. Diet sweeteners do not help you. They are not your friend. It's not about lowering your calories. It's about eating unlimited amounts of whole, healthy food that lower your set point, that are macro rich and dense and heavy in nutrition and low in calories. That's why all the vegetables, that's why all the fruit you can hold. You will not be fat if you did nothing but eat fruit every day. You will not be fat. And nuts and some seeds, 2 ounces, and some protein, and water, and coffee or tea. It's a lifelong commitment. And as I move through, I will see how much things I can add back in on occasion, like you says, as you go through the different stations. So I think dairy is the thing that I wouldn't mind having a little bit here and there. Other than that, I think I'd be okay. I just wanted to say that the thing about the toxic food addictions, the processed food is a toxic food addiction. That's why you have cravings. It's the same as when I gave up the wine. It's funny how that's an addiction to everybody, but and I don't really, it wasn't an addiction. I thought it was an addiction. I was fearful of it being an addiction. It could have become an addiction, but actually, for me to be able to give it up without it giving me the shakes or the heebie-jeebies, like people that quit smoking get, it's not like that. It wasn't like that at all. And the fact that I have had some emotional cravings for it. I didn't have any physical cravings or physical withdrawals. People numb with food just as much as they numb with alcohol. So if I can give up the alcohol and stop numbing, you can give up the things on this list that you numb with. It's possible, and you can be freed by doing this 2-week detox. And then after that, I think the rest is going to be a lot easier than you think. I wish you all well for the next couple of weeks on the program. I'll see you when I see you. I'm feeling really empowered and ready to go again. Reread the material. It really gets you psyched up. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.